His name is David Hall. In 1990, while in his 30s, he began using a mini trampoline. In the early 90s, he introduced the barrel spring, and as a lecturer and motivational speaker, he's traveled throughout the country for many years, sharing his program and reigniting the mini trampoline industry. The inventor of the tri-fold Cellerciser and portable carrying case, David more recently created and patented the new triple-tiered tapered spring, the only self-adjusting spring of its kind. David Hall's 10-minute-per-day program has been seen by hundreds of thousands worldwide. It's been written about in books and magazines. He's been on numerous radio and TV programs throughout the world. He works with universities, doctors, health practitioners, celebrities, professional athletes, Fortune 500 companies, and special forces groups. If you're watching this DVD, it's because you're interested in health and fitness, or someone who cares about you is interested in yours. As of 2008, David is 52 years of age, and he's revolutionizing exercise. He doesn't lift weights. He'll explain to you why you don't need to lift weight away from gravity when you can increase the weight of gravity. It is my privilege to introduce David Hall and his program, Cellercise.
Welcome to our Monday night program. I shared that just to let you know, I've been at this now for nearly 35 years. When I began, I'm sorry this isn't a real good picture, that's my daughter Jessica. Many of you have seen her, she's 40 years old now. But that was me before I began. I didn't have much definition. I was an average looking insurance agent, and I started Cellercising. And in 1 month I dropped a belt notch. In 1 month my wife asked me if I was lifting weights. I didn't know what it was all about yet, but I started traveling around the country and was featured on the front cover of Natural Health and Fitness with the caption, "Can this man change your life in just 10 minutes a day?" My program was 10 minutes a day. It's still 10 minutes. Time doesn't matter to a cell. Cells don't really have watches, but they adapt based upon how they're challenged. So it's more of the intensity than it is the rest of it. So what we're going to do tonight, we've got some incredible customer reviews. Thank you for joining us. Please share it with your family, your friends, those you care about. Let's see what we can do about increasing the number of people in the Cellercise family that are supporting each other, because it really makes a difference, and it has helped a great number of people. So let's get started with the reviews. We're going to answer some questions. I've been gone for a month. So I hope everybody had a good summer. I can't believe it's already over, but it is. And my son's behind the scenes here nodding. Yeah, he can't believe it either. If you have questions, please go ahead and write those questions in. Justice will feed those questions to me. And let's have a great program tonight. What I'm going to be doing is we'll go over the reviews, answer the questions, and then I'm going to share some things about what makes the Cellercise different and why does it work. We're going to talk about the features of the Cellerciser. If we have time, we'll talk about some of the different products and support materials we have that are all designed to help you get results. That's what it's all about. We invest in the Cellerciser not because it's the greatest machine in the world, but because we want to get results. And that's what all the support materials, that's why I do this, is to help you reach your greater health and fitness potential. We make exercise so hard. We're the only species in the world that does that. You don't see any other animal out there pumping iron weights or doing all of these insane programs to be healthy and fit. I'm not putting all those other modalities down. What I'm saying is that we often make it harder than we need to. Our cells don't care how sophisticated a piece of equipment is. They don't care, about the time. We just challenge the cells. And when we're challenging the cells, they're going to adapt to the challenge we give them. And we just happen to have a very efficient way of doing it. So Patricia writes, "My Cellerciser is 7 years old. To help convince others not to mistakenly buy a rebounder and expect Cellerciser results, my first was a $99 Urban Rebounder. No fun, no results. My second was a Jump Sport. Sort of fun, no results. My third was the large Velicon. It was fun, but for me, that's all it was. Fun, no results. Then I got my Cellerciser, and sold or donated the above 3. The search was over. It's fun, it's addicting, it's forgiving, go back to health bounce when necessary, it's effective, it brought results, and fast, exclamation point. It's quiet, it's maintenance free, oil it only once. It's a time saver, working the whole body at once. It's easy, it works. There's no dread factor. As part of your beautiful Cellerciser family, I wanted to contribute by sharing how I evolved to the cream of the crop, my Cellerciser. I wish I had never invested the time, energy, and money on the first 3. Love to all. Love to Dave, Jenna, Christine Hanks, and all the staff. Much love. And that's Patricia. And wow, Patricia, what a review. How sweet, how nice. And we're gonna talk a little bit about how to substantiate some of that in just a little bit. Okay. This is from Felkers, said on June 14th. Just received my Cellerciser a few days ago and off to a good start. I'm almost 67 and actually in good condition from years of dumbbells and jogging with my dog. In the last year, however, I've had really bad luck with balance issues, 5 falls all the way to the ground, and 1 fall causing 3 broken ribs. I hope changing some of my workout time to rebounding will help with balance. I also have a lot of stiffness lately and hope rebounding will help there too. The Cellerciser is great. I have a low ceiling where I use it, but at 6 foot tall, I'm not anywhere close to the ceiling. An 8 foot ceiling is more than enough room. Oh, I was going to save money by not buying the handle, and the salesman talked me into the bifold with new handle package. Boy, I'm glad I got the handle, as it has saved me from a few spills already. And that's the balance bar, which we eventually call the performance bar. It's a balance bar initially, it's a performance bar as you get more involved in a lot of the different movements. Well, I'm off to search for workouts. I'm looking for basic rebounding video workouts that last 20 to 25 minutes. Found several so far for beginners, and they are a wonderful way to get into rebounding. I will say I can hardly believe something this fun could be a workout. And that's just it. Cellercise is fun, it's easy, it's efficient, it's effective, it's safe, it's portable, it's convenient. That's what we want. And we get results. And you don't see many people bouncing up and down that are angry and upset and frustrated, not for long. Cellercise helps to release endorphins, opens up circulation, breaks up blockages, and improves circulation. So it's wonderful as a stress reducer as well. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Hepzibah wrote, I absolutely love mine. I also love having my traveling one. Have one for travel and one for home. Both of them are amazing. I use my Cellerciser every day. It's so therapeutic in every area of health. And thank you so much for the comment. Sabina writes, thank goodness I noted the difference while researching rebounders and realized that with the 100 weight difference between myself and my husband, bungees were not an option for my household. And we're talking about bungees. They're fun. They're fun. I'm not taking anything away from them. They don't have the same kind of support or resistance that a Cellerciser does. So without the resistance, your muscles don't get bigger. The lymph system doesn't circulate well. She says, my grandson, whose weight is 200 pounds less than my husband, jumps on it several times a day during his visits. 0 changes or adjustments needed. The Cellerciser is always ready. Sabina, thank you. That's why we have the tridaptable spring. Anne writes, the Cellerciser most definitely is made to last a lifetime. I bought mine a long time ago. It's still perfect. And that's great. I appreciate that. We have people that have been using well over 25 years. Kathy writes, and without ever having to change a mat or a spring. And when you follow the directions on the Cellerciser, they last and last and last. My unit in my office is over 22 years old, and I use it every day. Use it this morning. Kathy writes, we love the Cellerciser. We are grateful that Dave and the team are available to answer questions and help success at every level. Thank you, Kathy. Nancy writes, I almost can't believe what rebounding does for me. So many good things that improve with just a few minutes of playing in. Why work out when you can play in? I started a couple years ago, and now because I spend 4 days at my son's babysitting, I purchased a second one instead of carrying it back and forth on the train. But some days I'm so busy I do not take the time to get on and bounce. After a day or two, I sure can tell. The moral is I need to take care of myself, so as the Lord leads, I feel good enough to serve where He sends me. Amen. Exclamation points. Amen. Thank you, Nancy. Marletta writes, Marletta, so excited, all capitalized, exclamation point. Had to wait for 4 long days for it to arrive, even though Dave shipped it the same day as my order. Very easy to assemble. I'm an 80-year-old small frame female, and it was easy and straightforward to get it and the balance bar up and going totally by myself. Dave suggested to start off with the health bounce for just a few minutes, which I did. And I was really feeling it in my calves by the end of 4 minutes. I will wait an hour and do the next set in 4 minutes. Next set of 4 minutes. And Marletta, thank you. That brings up a good point. The weakest area in circulation is the lower extremities. We have a tendency to get edema, swelling, varicose veins. The calf muscles have been called a second heart. Well, when you're Cellercising and you're moving up and down, you're lifting those heels up and down, that calf muscle is flexing, but you're also pumping with the heart on the Cellerciser to help move that fluid back through the one-way valves, back into the circulatory system, toward the heart. Michael writes, I purchased my Cellerciser in July 2025 as a 62-year-old man in decent shape. I was just looking for a new way to exercise that could be lifelong and easy on the joints. I started my rebounding journey 6 months earlier on the backyard trampoline, staying near the edges to avoid the pronation as much as possible. I really enjoyed it. I waited several months to purchase, only to see how much I enjoyed rebounding regularly. Additionally, about 9 months before my purchase, I had hurt my shoulder weightlifting, bench press. I could barely raise my left shoulder in any direction. After 3 months of biweekly physical therapy, they couldn't do any more for me. I was at around 70% of my full range of motion when I received my Cellerciser, using mostly the health bounce and some shoulder exercises. I slowly got my shoulder to 95%. It still hurts a little bit, but I can now bench press again and do push-ups. The Cellerciser helped me heal that last bit the best, something the physical therapist folks kind of gave up on. Truly grateful. And I really appreciate those comments, Michael. I work a lot with physical therapists, and they do a great job, but they're more limited because they treat the body as muscles, ligaments, tendons, which is fine because that's what you're addressing. But what Cellercise does, which takes it to another level, which many of our physical therapists appreciate, is that the movement up and down massages the cell membrane and increases circulation as you're doing various different movements on the Cellerciser. And so we have many movements on our Mr. Rebounder app that are all designed to treat shoulder movements to help improve the opening up that rotator cuff and improving shoulder flexibility and strength and health. Brenda writes, I purchased my Cellerciser in 2020 and loved that I could exercise in the privacy of my own home despite what the weather conditions were outside. In June 2024, my rebounding entered a whole new level when I saw free classes from Sally and Stephanie, known as the Trophy Twins, with I Jump Instead. They've been with us for years. They've really created a name for themselves and their programs. I immediately noticed I had more energy and an overall feeling of well-being by following their clear instructions on different stretching and flexing methods. I was hooked. After a few months of doing their free classes, I joined their membership so I could do a new class every day. I had my 6-month doctor's appointment, and when she had me lay back on the examination table, she immediately commented on the firmness of my core. She asked what I was doing. I told her about my Cellercise rebounder and the classes I was taking. She had her nurse go to Cellercise.com and said that she was going to order one for her Cellercise because she needed to increase her exercise. I think what really impressed her is that I am 71 years, she says old, I'm going to say 71 years young, because I'm really close, and was able to achieve what I did in a short period of time by rebounding on a Cellerciser. Even I find it hard to believe that in this short period of time, I am getting a trophy body at my age. It is what keeps me motivated to do this every day. Thank you, Dave Hall and Sally and Stephanie with I Jump Instead. You can't imagine how much I appreciate you all. And Brenda, we appreciate you so much for sharing that. And yes, Cellercise helped change Sally and Stephanie's physiques. It has resistance, and that resistance is what really makes a difference. Michelle writes, I can't say enough about how this has helped me. I actually using it now to recalibrate my inner ear for balance. The benefits are endless. I think I'm going on 6 or 7 years with my Cellerciser. Thank you, Michelle. Don writes, my wife and I have been using our Cellerciser on a daily basis for 14 years. We bought the Cellerciser for our health benefits, but now rely on it for an important part of our daily exercise routine, and it's fun. I'm so grateful to Dave Hall for providing such a high quality product along with his positive energy. Thank you, Don. Thank you for sharing that. And yes, the Cellerciser can last for years and years and years. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. Fred, hello all. Okay, this is a wonderful review, but it's 2 pages, 3 pages long. So we're going to save that one, and I may spend time when we don't have as many customer reviews to read this, because he goes through and he really outlines on some of the videos and on the Mr. Rebounder app some of the areas that have been most effective for him and what it has done. It's really worth reading. We'll read that one a little bit later. Becky writes, I used to use a bungee jumper. I now have 3 Cellercisers, one for me, one for my husband, we jump every day, and one for my office. And Donna writes, I've been running and bouncing on mine for over 25 years. I've never had to do anything to it, and it's still in great shape. I love these. Thank you, Donna. You know, it's neat because I talk to people who understand the value of a Cellerciser, and they look online. They'll go to Marketplace or they'll go to eBay. I'm probably not doing them a favor by sharing this, but they look for Cellercise orphans. People that may not know what they have, come across one, they don't know what it's all about, but they look for them because often they can get them at a decent price, and then they'll often give them away. They'll give them to people that have the need, that can benefit from them. So Cellercisers are a little harder to find, and part of the reason is because there's a lot of people that care about other people, and that's what it's all about. So Esther writes, I bought the device. Okay, these are the questions now. I bought the device to hold the mobile phone on the bar, but I haven't dared to put it on because I think it could damage the pillow, the foam handle. Would that be the case? If so, I would use another way to hold the foam. It's not going to hurt the foam pad at all. When you attach it, yes, it will squeeze onto the foam handle. That's what we want it to do. And let me open this up a little bit. And when you get it on there, you don't want it on too tight here when you torque it down. Whoops. And when you put it on, it'll hold it in place, but it's not going to hurt. Even if it leaves indentations in the foam, it'll pop back out again. Many times when we send units to people, they'll say, oh, something was resting on it during shipping and it left an indentation on it. And I just tell them, let it rest for a few days and it'll pop right back out, which they do. So no, Esther, you feel free to use it. That's what it's designed for. Question 2, should I complement the app routines with static balance moves like a demi-plie or a squat without bouncing? Or is it better to just focus on the bouncing routines? No, you're right. You absolutely do those different movements on it. I often do too. In fact, I learned a great new movement for the lower back, which, I'll share it with you. And it does involve a little bit of bouncing, but you've seen me do movements like this where you kind of bend down and lean back to, oh, that felt good, to loosen the back. And then I got a routine where holding it, you just kind of squat down and then you just kind of bounce like this. Kind of looks weird. I'll have to give it some kind of a weird frog name or something. But as you're gently bouncing up and down, initially you may not be able to go that far, but ultimately it doesn't take that long. It opens up that spine. It's awesome. I mean, it's just really nice because it increases flexibility, which is good. That's what we want. Okay. I am at a healthy weight and mainly want to tone. My concern is not from weight loss, but from having lost muscle tone since I stopped ballet many years ago. I feel some looseness in the skin of my legs. Not extreme, but I would like it to firm up as I progress. Is that realistic? It can, yeah. Skin is a protein fiber. And basically what you're asking is, how do we get the skin cells to do push-ups so they firm up? Well, that's what Cellercise is doing against the cell membrane over and over. So the cell fortifies its membrane with more protein, becomes more resistant to the weight that we're putting on it because the cells don't want to rupture. And in the process, everything from the inside out starts to lift, tighten, and tone. So Cellercise helps us strengthen skin and collagen and protein fibers as well. Number 4, I have a 2- and 5-year-old. Should I just let them bounce, or is it better to look for kid-specific routines? And will there be kids' routines on the app in the future? We have kids using it right now, and we have on the Mr. Rebounder app. I don't know if you knew this or not, but let's get it back up here. I say I'm getting better at this, and then who knows? Something strange will happen. Okay. All right, so when you go to the Mr. Rebounder app, and there we go. When you go to I don't know if you can see this. Yep. There's a little figure up here in the top right-hand corner. And that little figure, under your settings, it allows you to pick a male or a female person. So under account information, you put gender. And when you put gender, male, you'll have the ability to edit. And we have 3 different figures. And one of them is the little space cadet. And so when you mark the space cadet and you save that, and then you go to any one of the routines. So we'll go back to routine. Let's do an intermediate routine. And we've got 13 exercises here. So we hit the start button and you can see, and you can pick different background images too. But so you can have your kids go through and do different movements on the routine. Now there's another feature where you can take out the seconds in between each movement, make it 0, and that's been fun. So our grandkids, they go nuts on it. They're amazing on the Cellerciser. Okay. And then piece rights, I broke my foot and cut in strain. Is it okay to use a Cellerciser? It's how you use the Cellerciser. And that's a medical, that's borderline medical question. So I can tell you what happened with me, because I broke my foot a number of times, metatarsals, ankle, and what I would do is I use a balance bar and I would hang it over the side and bounce up and down. Because of moving up and down, as I bounce up and down, it actually increases circulation, and that helps reduce the inflammation. And you can also sit down, put your feet up on a couch, and we've had a number of people do that very successfully with incredible results. Is you just put your foot up on a chair, bounce up and down with the foot up. You're still creating pressure changes in the body that help to increase the circulation. And doctors know bones and muscles heal faster and grow stronger when exposed to some stress. That's the idea behind the walking cast. So when I broke my ankle, I hung it over the side and I bounced up and down. The doctor's now my customer. It healed remarkably fast. It's another story, but okay. Patty writes, what movements can I do to strengthen my mid-back and muscle area? Okay, so that mid-back, that's taking the Cellerciser. Good idea to use the balance bar. You tilt forward a little bit. This is after we've warmed up. So the moving up and down to move fluid, warm up the tissue, rocking side to side to loosen the back a little bit more, gentle twist, loosens it more, taking pressure off the disc, and then kicking out where you hold on to the balance bar and just kick back. Every time I come down, as I lean forward, all those muscles in the middle of the back are working to hold me up so I don't fall forward. And obviously with the balance bar it's a little bit easier. For those who are more advanced, then we can do I call it a glorified jumping jack. And that helps lift the buttocks, but also works the lower back. Okay, are there any questions, Justice?
No, but Sylvia did say, Dave, what I appreciate is you have rest time and breathing. This is important. I mixed 2 workouts doing different moves from the app for 1 hour.
For 1 hour, huh? Good. Neat thing about the Mr. Rebounder app is you can create routines too. And you create routines where you can do an intense movement, and then you can let the body adapt or adjust, get that oxygen circulation going through it, and then go at it again. And that's very important, so thank you. Okay, what I want to talk about, why the Cellerciser, what makes it different, and why I developed it the way I did. Trampolines are fun. Emulating a trampoline is what really the bungee cords are trying to do, to make it fun. Bouncing up and down is fun. Cellercise is different. It harnessed the G-forces created through the research done on trampolines, but trampolines are for tricks. If you try to do exercises on a typical unit that's too soft, you won't have the same kind of support, and you'll be limited in the movements you can do. Jumping higher doesn't do much, it just lets the body float. Your body's not working, it's floating. Staying closer to the mat is where the cells are flexing many more times per minute. It's where the muscles are flexing, or every cell is. It's where we're pumping the lymphatic system. It's where we're challenging equilibrium and balance and strength. So let's talk a little bit about what makes this different than other units. And again, I'm not here to put down other units. I'm so grateful. When I started this 35 years ago, nobody was bouncing. I mean, the industry was pretty much dead. I knew the potential of what could happen. It's happened. And so I've accomplished my purpose, to bring to awareness. There's more that needs to be done. There's more research that needs to be done. There's more benefits that we will continue to discover. But we're on our way. And I'm so grateful for that. I truly believe every household should have a Cellerciser because of what that movement does for circulatory systems, for the immune system, for our balance and equilibrium and strength. flexibility. Of course, it goes on and on. All right, so this mat material. This is not a canvas, nylon, or plastic like you can find on typical rebounders. Canvas, nylon, and plastic mats can look the same, but the mat material stretches with the spring. So you come down and the mat then stretches and your feet torque or pronate every time you come down. Over time, accumulatively, that causes the ankle problems, the knee problems, the hip problems, and the back problems. We need to have good support under our feet. So what this mat material is made out of, and it's made here in the United States, this mat material is a polypropylene where every single fiber, and there's a lot of fibers, every fiber is put under nearly 200 tons of pressure. It is so incredibly dense. There is no off-gassing. You can leave it out in the sun, the rain, the snow. It's weather resistant, it's UV resistant. I use it because I don't want the mat, I don't want it stretching with the springs. I want it moving with the springs to support you, but where your feet are going to be well supported. And that's what this mat does. The springs are unique, and from other spring units as well as, of course, the bungee cord units, these don't stretch out. The steel in our spring is so strong it destroyed conventional spring molds. So we had to create a tungsten steel mold to be able to produce our spring. We have a tri-adaptable spring. Excuse me. It has a larger diameter in the middle, then it has a ridge where it tapers, and then another ridge where it tapers again. And that ridge helps to focus the weight toward the center of the spring. When you've got 36 springs with those ridges, that's what gives the Cellerciser the feel and the support that it has. If you weigh more or you're jumping higher and you need more spring, then it graduates from the center section to the next section and toward the end. And so it doesn't matter whether you're 25 pounds or 400 pounds. Everybody in the family can use a Cellerciser. Okay, the springs do not connect directly into the frame. Why do we do that? So we never wear the frame out. If you connect the springs directly into the frame, it starts to wear down the actual tubing of the frame. By putting special steel springs through the frame and connecting the springs to the pins, the frame should last forever. It has a lifetime warranty on it. Yes, Justice?
Tracy says, hi Dave, do you ever think you will have a bigger version like a 44 or a 48?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm so glad she asked that question because I would have missed it. The wider out you go, the less support you have in the middle. So we designed it at 40 inches on purpose so that you have good support. You can alter the angle of your body in different positions to create leverage. It lifts you straight up. The wider out you go, again, the less support you have, the more it can throw you off. And so one size fits all feet. And we've got basketball players whose feet are twice the size of mine. Some of them have written me nice letters and cards thanking me about, on professional teams, about how the Cellerciser has helped them. So we really appreciate them. Okay, so frame will last, springs don't stretch out. We had to come up with tungsten steel mold just to be able to produce these springs. It's why we often run out of inventory, because we have to wait in line longer. Our springs are, well, they're different. The legs, they don't screw on. So you don't have to constantly tighten them down. They don't get stuck or stripped or lost. They fit over a steel post that are held into place by heavy-duty springs. Now, if you get a unit like this, and you notice how the hook is open right here, if you want, you can take a pair of pliers and squeeze that hook in so that it can't slip off. We designed these legs to come on and off on purpose so that we can change the spring cover or replace one, but it's that simple. And if you're not going to be replacing the spring cover anytime soon, you can squeeze those hooks more closed in so the leg can't slip out. The rubber feet that we use, they're not your typical rubber. They're a lot harder. They're like a polymer rubber. They're so strong and this one's been around a while, we give them a lifetime warranty as well. So that's why the Cellercise is a little different. It has materials that are designed to support movements and fitness, and that's what it's all about. Okay, so in addition to that, as you notice, I am wearing my Cellisoles. The Cellisoles are nice because they're like a second skin. They really hug the foot and allow the foot different movements. I wear them all day long though. I go hiking in them, riding on my bike in them. They're my new favorite shoe. And so we made those available after one year we bought all the kids and siblings Cellisoles, and they liked them too. So we ended up getting Cellisoles for the Cellercise family, and now we have those available on our website. We have the standalone monitor. The standalone monitor will record the number of bounces. It'll have an intensity meter that goes up and down. You can see this on our website. It will give you the time, and it has an algorithm that counts the number of calories you're burning. The intensity meter, it's not just about the number of bounces. It literally has a built-in oscillator that attaches to the mat that is in the system and will measure the intensity. When you're more intense, you're burning more calories. So it can measure that. And then we've got the standalone monitor, which, well, the standalone monitor is the one that I just shared with you. This one interfaces with the Mr. Rebounder app. So if you have the app, you just slide this onto your mat, and it's Bluetooth, so it will communicate and take your app to another level so that it counts the number of bounces, it counts again, it's got an intensity meter, it counts the number of calories you've burned, and shows you the amount of time between movements, which is a little additional feature. And then we've got the newer, we've had it for a year now, the fold-out exercise guide that has over 24 different movements with an explanation of the movements and what those movements can accomplish. And many of you have received one of those already. We've got the solutions, and the solutions, they're ionic minerals. They're bioavailable. They go directly through a cell membrane. They're available to the cells at the DNA level. Cells have to have the communication devices in our normal day-to-day diet to be able to perform functions effectively, to be able to digest and utilize nutrients. You have to have the minerals at the enzymic level. So we make those available too. We've got the two units. We've got the phone holder. We've got additional products that we're working on. But everything, all of it is designed to support you in helping to get results. So if you found this video or this program helpful, please share it with others. We invite them to experience the Cellercise family. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you for the difference you are making in the lives of so many people. It's an honor for me to be able to be a part of your journey too. So thank you for being part of the Cellercise family, and it's just been 35 wonderful years. Be well. Remember, you don't have to work out when you can play in. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.